In this video, we're going to take the onNextLevel function and basically break it apart so that we can use it to transition between scenes in a more generic sense. So we're basically setting ourselves up to make a main menu of sorts. Very simple main menu, basically just has a start, maybe an exit. But hey, it's going to be a main menu because, that's part of how a game needs to be structured. First, though, I want to make you aware of an addition that I made, and that is right here in the load level function. When I load a level, and basically I want to set the name of the top, the root node of that level to be level. And the reason I want to do that is because on the get level node, I'm looking for a top level node of level for that. And if I don't find it, I return a null. And that was giving me some problems. I made a third level and I forgot about that. And I just derived from the base level. And I think base level had a different name up here anyway. It messed things up and I was like, oh, I need to fix that. So anyway, that was an addition. It's just that one line right there. So the function that we want to break apart is right here. It's this function right here. So we have a first part and we have a second part down here. So I want to put that code into the util script because it is it's being auto-loaded. So basically it transcends everything except for the other auto-loaded scripts. So I want to make a scene out function and I want to pass in a sprite to use. I want to pass in tweener to use. I want to also pass in fade time. It's going to be below it. And I want to know if I should pause the rest of it. That's going to be Boolean. And then what I want to do is take half I want to copy it over here. Then we're going to need to look at some things. Now, if we should pause, can we do this? Now, you might say, why don't you just say get tree paused equals not should pause? Well, I don't want to change the state of this unless I'm told to explicitly, because it could be something and it could affect something, blah, blah, blah. And this is actually something that also needed to be kind of removed, but I'm going to keep it here. We're not using that fader right now, but we may want to use it later. And we want to take the sprite, wherever we have circle, we want to replace that. And this, we're not going to mess with the position here. We shouldn't have to. That's not a good idea. Let's do it here instead. So make sure I can delete all that. I believe I can. We will say this circle.position, and we will then call our new function tools dot circle. I can spell it correctly. Circle tween, and we have a fade time here built in to our script. And I do want to pause the scene tree, at least on the level. Ooh, is that going to pause the whole thing? We'll see. No, maybe it won't. And then also, what I want to do here is, since this function, since it yields, how it's yielding, I need to yield to it as well. So we want to wait until it's finished, and to do that, we go, okay, tell us when you're complete, because it will pop off a signal that will tell us when it's complete. And now let's do a replacement of tween, and let's replace that with the little tween. Let's give it a run and see if our fade out or circle out is correct now, if it works. Okay, we missed one. Did we? Oh, connecting to signal compete. Oh, it's not compete, it's complete. All right. Grab the key. Is it complete or is it completed? Now I'm going to go have to check. Completed. Completed. Not complete. Not complete. Sorry. And I just put in tween. I thought I just copied that. Yeah. Now we'll get it. We'll get it eventually. E, and then we fade out, fade back in, or circle out and circle back in. Maybe we should call it circle. Call this circle out. No, let's call it. Let's call it scale out, because we're not fading. We're scaling out, scaling in. So we're gonna call this scale out. And now all that remains is to do basically the same for this. I'm correct. I'm gonna. That doesn't need to be in our functions. I'm gonna grab this stuff. Yeah, that should be correct. So we'll just do that. And we'll just go ahead. And I'm going to scale in. And we'll add some parameters in a moment. I want to get this stuff off the clipboard. And we basically want those same parameters here. We want to replace tween with tween. We also want to replace with. Okay. And we don't. This one is for the. That's basically a fader. We're probably gonna. I want to keep those because we will probably make like a fade out and a fade in. Just grab those and do that with that. In fact, could just say right here to get ready for that. Maybe we'll do that here in a minute. So alien twin. I believe this is all correct. And then all we need to do is come over here, and we can grab this. This in. We will uncomment that. I would say, yeah, it looks like I have two to-dos that really are this. Let's get rid of one of those. We don't need two to-dos that say the same thing. Run it, see if this. Yep. Works just fine. So basically we have effectively refactored that code so that we can utilize those two functions at any point in time. And oh, I need to do this. That, and let's change this to was for clarity's sake. And now let's see, what time am I? I'm at 8 minutes. Let's create our fade in and fade out function. Just copy these functions. Fade out, fade. And instead of doing the scale, we will just do alpha. We're going to blend the alpha, which is all those functions we're doing. I believe I had that in one of my last videos a while back. So fade in and fade out and interpolate property sprite right here. Right. So to check that, we could go here. Oh, and of course, if we wanted more control, we could add those as parameters, but I think we'd be kind of long in the parameters. I'm going to leave it like that. Let's see if that works. Let's fade out, and instead of this, let's do a container / fader. just so that we'll have those when we need them, possibly in the next episode. Let's see if that works. Could have things incorrect. Right, visible. Did I change the? Ah, yes. So this is not a sprite. It's no longer a sprite. But does it have a it has a visible? It's not a sprite. It is a color rect. Certainly, yes, I forgot about that. So these will take, and that should take a color. And so should this. Almost finished. This is phenomenal. I like it. Yes. And then it fades back in. That's exactly what we want. So now we have a pair of functions. In between each of these functions, basically, we do what we want to do as far as loading level, whatever, and then we pop things back in by calling the appropriate the function that undoes what we did. And with that, let me go ahead and do this. And so then we have it all back like we had before, but now we have a couple of functions that we can modularly to do a menu. And with that, I will see you next time, and we'll talk about some main menu stuff. Very simple. Thanks for watching.